we did have the Taoiseach Leo Varadkar. His first ministerial post was tourism, followed by the current Minister for Finance. We now have Shane Ross, who's obviously outside of sort of the political party apparatus to a certain extent. But the government is a collective. And in our view, the government as a whole, whether that's the minister on his own or the government as a whole, do not pay due attention to tourism and sort of don't, if you like, see the challenges that the sector has in front of it, nor do they see the massive opportunities that are there to be grasped.
Well, so you look. Is that the role of the Minister for Tourism, Transport and Tourism to make that case at the cabinet table? I mean, I can imagine that the Minister for Agriculture would be banging on the desk and swinging out the chandeliers if his industry isn't being duly attended to, as would other ministers. Isn't that the sole? It's nothing to do with personalities, but isn't that the sole responsibility of that minister to make that argument at cabinet?
Hard to argue with that, but I mean, you could make the observation, given you mentioned the Ministry for Agriculture, that the tourism is part of a larger agency, if you like, a larger government department, and yet here we are reminding everybody that tourism is the largest single economic sector in the country. And I think, in a sense, that speaks for itself to your question, which is, does tourism get the weight that it deserves around the cabinet table and in terms of policy development? The answer is no, it doesn't. It has improved over recent times, it has, and the government has made some very good positive policy decisions, but in general terms, no, it hasn't reflected the importance of the industry and the growth prospects and the potential for the industry. I mean, you've heard me banging on about this before, but if you continue to see brand erosion through lack of investment overseas, you will reap, unfortunately, the results of that, which won't be positive.
And it is unfortunate, I suppose, that tourism has almost become a victim of its own success. The industry is doing well, but we have delivered, and more than delivered, on the two policies that the government introduced, be they short-term or otherwise, back in 2011, to actually drive the industry forward, A, to recovery, and B, then on to growth. So, of course, it's disappointing when the government as a whole are not acknowledging the fact that as a key export industry that cannot be offshored, that 80% of the income that comes into the exchequer from tourism is from overseas spend in this country. It is hugely important, and actually, whatever about a minister, but a whole of government need to take a view and an approach to actually getting behind and understanding what tourism is. And to be fair, I think at a local level, there is an acknowledgement and an understanding. I think things like the gathering, have certainly helped in the Irish consciousness to get people to understand the value of tourism. But we need to be doing more of that, and the government need to lead out on it.